So, it so happens that you've been married now 3 months, 6 months, and possibly 10 years. But at this point in time, something has crept up in your marriage. He used to come with you to church, but now he has stopped. He stopped attending the services with you. Yet he used to sing in the choir, or he used to serve ever so fervently. Or maybe he is now not dealing well with the money. This is what we call deal breakers in marriage. Deal breakers in marriage are the things that you are unwilling and will not tolerate in terms of going forward, in terms of conditions or behaviors that you decide that I will not tolerate this going forward. I'm Cynthia Otieno, a relationship and transformational coach, and I'm here at the Love Lounge speaking about the deal breakers in marriage. Thank you for joining me, and I'm really glad that you are part and parcel of this lounge, this episode. So how do marriage deal breakers happen? And is there anything like a deal breaker? It so happens that when we have deal breakers, we have tolerated. It means that you have actually, for a very significant time, seen one thing after another drop off. It's like all the balls seem to be dropping. He's no longer taking responsibility for actions, or she's no longer taking responsibility over her role or whatever it is. And you're starting to feel very discouraged. You're starting to feel very upset with the condition as it is. So how do you handle a marriage deal breaker? What is the thing that you need to do? So thank you for joining me. I'll give you a couple of points on what you need to do when you recognize that you are currently going through the frustration of deal breakers. I must make you aware that in marriage there will be conflict. So not everything will become a deal breaker. If he makes you mad and you've been mad for a couple of weeks, that's not a deal breaker. Okay? A deal breaker is something that you have possibly talked about, or possibly you've had and you've been tolerating it for a significant time and you've talked about it, but something is not changing and you feel that this is now becoming a deal breaker in the relationship. One of the first things you need to do is to actually recognize that you have a problem. You need to recognize and acknowledge that right now where we are, there is a situation where I am unwilling and not able to continue forward in terms of you're not in a place of peace, you're not happy, and we need to sit down and talk. All right, number 2, remain on the stated issue. It's really, really critical. It's really important, guys, that when you are in the middle of this crisis or in the middle of this, there's a lot of emotion, there's betrayal possibly, there's anger. But it's really critical when you do approach this person is that remain on the stated issues, remain factual, so that then you can be clear and concise on what you're trying to handle and deal with. It's really, really important. It will help you go a little bit further when you can actually be able to be clear, be able to be very open about it, and remain on the stated issues that you're about to bring up. Number 3, it's very important that when you recognize that you have a deal breaker, is to also recognize that you're human. He's human and she's human. These issues, we're not dealing in a perfect situation where everybody's perfect. And possibly when you come to that recognition is that this person has failed. And it's important for you to extend grace. Where grace is needed, extend grace. Where grace is required, extend grace. Remember, this is not a perfect situation. This is not a perfect world. Don't expect that everything will be perfect, especially depending on what that situation is and what you had talked about. Please extend grace. And then, last but not least, ensure that everything that you have talked about, you're able to handle it and handle it well. Do not sweep anything under the carpet. Do not allow this thing to continue to going on for a very long time. Make sure that you are able to deal and handle with it and feel satisfied that you have actually begun to to handle it. So now, where do we go from there? What does healing look like? Many times when couples come and speak to us concerning deal breakers, and at the time there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of fear, there's disappointment. So it's very easy to say, this is not going to work, or this is not happening. What I do advise is create boundaries. Number one, pure boundaries. Sometimes we go into relationships without any boundaries that we have created that will help this relationship actually thrive. Have you redefined the boundaries in this relationship? Have you begun to state, these are the lines that we cannot cross when it comes to, let's say for example, the person is a habitual liar, okay, and you're already in a marriage relationship. Can you actually create boundaries where lies are concerned? Or if he's a spendthrift, he's spending all the money, we need to create boundaries about who is the one who's going to be our money manager, and so forth. So create boundaries where you two can actually be able to handle well. Then, number two, very, very important. I would like you to write this down. Create a time frame. Give yourself timelines. Okay? Rome was not built in a day. Is it possible that the two of you can sit down and actually decide, we're giving ourselves 6 months or maybe 3 months to work on this marriage together? Or give yourself goals. Then you say, you know what, let's work on this thing. Is it communication that was a deal breaker? He's not a good communicator, or she's not communicating well, or is it conflict? Whatever it is, can you create timelines where you decide to grow in this issue? Where you actually give yourself time to put into it. What you sow is what you will get. What are you putting into your marriage? What are you putting into your love garden that needs to grow? Then the other critical thing, and I want you to hear me very well, because sometimes we can get into a place where in the relationship, in the midst of a deal breaker, we assume the parent-child relationship. You know what I mean? In the midst of the deal breaker, you've now become the parent. You're the one who is lording over the person. You want to coach them. You want to be the one correcting them. You want to be the one who takes over. Sincerely, that's not your role. And it would be absolutely unfair. So kindly, let's ensure that we do not assume the parent-child role. We are core partners. And last but not least, I would say this for those of us who subscribe to the Christian faith, who are Christians, and the power of prayer, you better believe it. The power of prayer and repentance is big. That God has the ability to effect and to affect your relationship, even including the deal breakers, immediately. Thank you for joining me, and I am so glad that you are part and parcel of this.